Hola! In this video, we are going to learn how to pronounce these two Spanish consonant letters, B and B. These two may have different sounds depending on their position in a word or in a sentence. So the purpose of this lesson is that you improve or correct your pronunciation of these two letters and learn how to pronounce them in every word and in every sentence. Uh, this is going to be the first video of a series of phonetics related videos. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video and also leave a comment. Bueno, empezamos. Well, first, most of you must have a different sound for each of these consonants in your language. For example, English speakers have B and V. So they have a bilabial B and a labiodental V. But in Spanish, these two consonants have the same sound. There is no difference between the two for now. For example, here we have the first example. B and B is the same sound. B, B. And here we have a couple of words. Bar and ban. So you see that it's the same sound, and the sound that I am producing is a bilabial B. B. This is the same sound produced by English speakers in words like buy or boat. The difference with Spanish is that we produce that sound for both of these two consonants. Now, there is a different sound for both of these. This sound is represented by this phoneme that I wrote here. And this sound is softer than the bilabial. It's the sound V. V. This sound is an approximant. It means that in this case, the lips are close to the bilabial position, but they do not fully press against each other to produce that sound. So the sound produced is softer than the bilabial. V, 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 V. We are going to see some examples of the different cases where this can happen. And actually, you will see that that the approximant sound is more frequent than the bilabial sound, because I forgot to say that the bilabial sound happens when the b or be is at the beginning of a word. But for now, we are looking at single words. Then when we move on to a sentence, you will see that this changes. So we go back to the approximant sound. Well, let's see first these two examples. Ava, lava. Ava, lava. So you can see that I am again producing the same sound for both of these, and this sound is softer than the bilabial sound. Ava, lava. You may also have noticed that these first two examples have something in common. In these two examples, the two consonants that are underlined are between vowels. So the rule, the phonetic rule is that when you have B or B between two vowels, the sound produced will be this one, V. So, ava, lava. Now, let's move on to the second example. We have árbol and larva. Again, I am producing the approximant sound. Árbol, larva. And again, these two examples also have something in common. The underlined B and B are preceded by a consonant. So when they are preceded by a consonant, they will be pronounced like the approximant sound. So, árbol, larva. Now let's move on to these two examples. In the first one, we have tabla. Tabla. So in this case, the underlined consonant is followed by another consonant. So when B or B are followed by a consonant, they will be pronounced with the approximant sound. Tabla, tabla. The same happens if the two consonants are together, like in the word obvio, obvio. In English, this would be very different, and you would pronounce obvious, obvious. So there you are making a distinction between the two consonants, and you are making a pause, obvious. But in Spanish, in the word obvio, the two consonants form one sound, which is the approximant sound. Obvio, obvio. So, as I told you before, we have more cases where these two have a soft pronunciation instead of a bilabial or plosive pronunciation. So now we will see these examples. Here we have cases where the B and B have both pronunciations that we have seen. For example, in the first one, baba, baba. So there you see that we have an initial B. So we have a B at the beginning of the word, and we have another B which is in the middle of the word and between two vowels. So the two B's that are underlined have different pronunciation. Ba-va, 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 ba-va. So the first one is bilabial and the second one is an approximant. Let's move on to the second one. Bebé, bebé. This is the same case as the first example. We have a B at the beginning of the word and another B which is between vowels. So the first one is bilabial and the second one is an approximant. Bebé, bebé, bebé. Now let's move on to the third example. Avión, avión. In this case, we have the B between two vowels. It doesn't matter if they are different vowels. It doesn't matter either if they are open and closed vowels. That is, if we have a, e, o from one side and e and u on the other side, there is no difference. So in this third example, the B underline is pronounced like the approximant. Avión, avión, avión. You may perceive it as a labiodental v, because there is a slight vibration. There might be a slight vibration of the lips when you pronounce this. And this is also why many native speakers think that they pronounce the labiodental v instead of when they are actually pronouncing the approximant v. So the third example is avión, avión. And now let's see the fourth example. Lavabo, lavabo. So here we have different consonants, but the sound is the same, and it's an approximant sound because they are between vowels. Lavabo, lavabo, lavabo. Now, let's see what happens in a sentence. We have this sentence. El bebé va al baño. Again. El bebé va al baño. El bebé va al baño. What happens here is that, we have one B at the beginning of a word, so it should be bilabial. We also have this B at the beginning of a word, it should be bilabial, and another B at the beginning of the word, and it should be bilabial. But what happens here is that, for example, before this word, we have another word, an article, which ends in a consonant. So we have seen that when the B and B are preceded by a consonant, they are pronounced like the approximant V, V. So it doesn't matter whether they are letters in a word or letters from different words in a sentence. For example, here, as this word ends in a consonant and the following word begins with a B, this B will be pronounced like the approximant. So, el bebé, el bebé. I am not saying el bebé. No, I'm saying el bebé, el bebé. So, el bebé va al baño. Here, I am also pronouncing the approximant because the word bebé ends in a vowel, and this vowel precedes the consonant of the following word. And here we have this example where when the B is preceded by a vowel, is pronounced like the approximant. So, el bebé va al baño. And now let's see the last one, al baño. I am producing the approximant here as well, al baño. We have a word that ends in a consonant and the following word which begins in B. So it's the same case as here. So all the B's in this word and in this sentence are pronounced like the approximant. El bebé va al baño. And this is why I told you that the approximant sound happens more frequently than the bilabial sound. Well, I hope this lesson was helpful for you. And if you have any doubts, you can type them in the comments.